Hi, travelers. Tara here, Hidden Lotus Tarot. Today is December 1st. Can you guys believe it? I'm like, what? 2016? I don't know about you, but I am so ready for 2017. This has been one of the wildest years I've ever experienced. For all of the new subscribers, hello, welcome aboard. Thank you for joining me. For all of my diehards, thank you for sticking around with me. Um, just a few quick announcements, and then we're going to get into the readings. I do have the website issues fixed. Yay! And I'm so thankful that I got it done because we started today or tomorrow. Really, will it's going to be the shadow phase for Mercury going retrograde. Y'all know I have trouble with Mercury retrograde. We also have Chiron stationing direct. It has been in retrograde motion. I don't know for how long, but it's making its yearly transit to move back into direct motion. And Chiron is known as the wounded healer. That's a whole nother ball game, and I'll have to explain that to y'all uh, another time. Um, I would like to ask for those of you, I have a private Facebook group. You can go to the website. There's a post called Links to the Facebook group. And there you can click on it and come over and ask to join in. We do have other discussions about some of the readings. That's what I do there. Also, come join me on Tumblr because I have it set up over on Tumblr where you can ask questions and you can do it anonymously. I will be posting those questions, but that's why I do it anonymously. If you want to come over and anonymously ask a question or post something, you can do that. I'm going to be getting back into the Twitter feed and giving you guys some quotes and stuff of the day and whatnot. So I'm trying to branch out and expand and do this and do that. Still working on my classes and getting my curriculum together. I will be getting that done. So today we're going to come with, I had promised that I was going to do a Casanova Hidden Lotus spread for the end of November. Well, so what's one day? So I'm going to give you two spreads. One will be with Casanova, and the other one will be with the Marseille Tarot for those of you who may be struggling with career and work issues. I do have the old Sibyllus here with me today, and I also have the Angel Answer cards. So we will just see what Mr. Casanova has to tell us today. I don't use him very often. Most people just do, some readers just do love readings only. I try to, any reading that I do, I try to encompass perhaps all areas of your life. I do my best. I know I don't always do that, but I try. Now, oh, card fell out. Two cards fell out. I will not accept those. I'm going to put those back in. I'm not even going to look at them. Element of surprise here. So here we go. Hidden Lotus spread with Terra Nova. Casanova. Wow. Well, Casanova. Underneath the deck, I have the Strength card. Can you see that? I'm getting a couple of messages off of that. The cards are in the center, the Two of Wands, and this is our focus. Then we have the Hierophant. We have the Three of Wands, the King of Swords. We have the Six of Coins, the Nine of Coins, the Five of Cups, the Page of Cups, and then we have the King of Coins there. Now you guys see what's sitting behind him there? That's the Tower. And we will be having a very rare two Uranus transits coming up around Christmas time. Actually, one of them will be making a trine to Venus, which is what the Hierophant represents. So this could be some surprises in your relationships. We're not going to say just romantic relationships, but relationships. What I see in the center is this Two of Wands. And we know that twos speak to choices, um, decisions, options, two paths, so to speak. And this card in this deck represents, for those of you who are new, um, the tarot is broken up into two sections. And I have what are known as the major arcana, and the major arcana cards are those things that, those challenges that you face that are designed to help you grow on a spiritual level. And then we have the numbered cards, which would be the 3, the 2, the 9, the 6, the 5, as such, the pip cards. The pip cards will include the court cards. The court cards would be your kings, your queens, your pages, and your knights. The major arcana take more weight over the rest of the cards. At the head, we have the Hierophant. Now, excuse me, I have 3 court cards here. So this could be a situation involving 3 people. It could be a business matter. I do see these pentacles and these wands here. I do have 2 cups. They're more, it's kind of evenly balanced. I have 2 wands. I do have 3 coins, 2 cups, and a sword. And for those of you who don't know the suits, the swords represents thoughts, ideas, perceptions, belief, communications. The wands represent the ambition, the drive, the fire, the desire to get something and get in there and get it done. The coins represent the actual physicality of doing the work. The cups represent your emotions surrounding the situation. Okay. So this 2 of coins, this 2 of wands in the center is that we're going to take this down to just a romantic, because that's what basically Casanova kind of speaks to. He was known as the great lover. Interestingly enough, though, he never got married and never had any children. However, be that as it may, the 2 of wands in this deck speaks to licentious play. In other words, it's doing something just for the sake of doing it. I'm going to go ahead and do this, and I'm not going to either try to take it ahead, or I'm not going to try to force an outcome, or not going to think about the outcome. I'm just going to go ahead and do it. It takes 2 people to do that sometimes, right? So here we have the 2 people. Now, the way I lay the cards, the next thing that comes down is the Hierophant. And the Hierophant speaks to social norms, doing the right thing. He represents institutions like colleges, banks, big corporations, but he also speaks to marriages, okay? Any place that there is a legal contract, one that can kind of bring about a cooperation, because even in a marriage, it's like a business in some respects, you know? So that's what he speaks to, doing the right thing. And I can see that for some of you, you may have decided to go ahead and engage or to begin a new relationship, as it were. For some of you, you may not have any concept of how this is going to play about. For others of you, you definitely perhaps want to get married and to merge with this person. I have the 3 of wands over here, and the 3 of wands in this deck, let me show it to you. Looks like this. And this card speaks to go ahead, like succumbing to the desire. The 2 speaks to I'm thinking about it. I've made the choice. I've decided this is what I'm going to do. The 3 means that I'm going to come together and I'm just going to do it. Okay, I'm going to do it. But then I have this King of Swords over here on the right side, which is opposing this 3 of wands. So I do feel for some of you, you may be dealing with someone. Let's say you met someone. You've kind of been on the fence about what's really going on within the relationship. You may have, I don't know, gone ahead and had sex with the person, or have gone ahead in some way, shape, or form and decided to pursue whatever this option is that you have. But you are meeting with some kind of resistance. Now, for some of you, I can't really say for certain that this is an air sign and an earth sign because these two kings could be different aspects of the same person. It could be just energies. But this King of Swords represents command and authority and control in this deck. But he also represents someone, the negative side, that it's someone who's tired of being in command and control and authority. And that in some way, perhaps that this person is sitting on the fence about what it is they should do. And this has led to some regrets. This card is known as, it's a Five of Cups, and it speaks to retracing previous steps. It speaks to regrets, maybe things done, maybe things not done. I would think in one respect, because it is swords, this is either in communication or in the way that this person's beliefs or that the way they feel about the situation, maybe what their past experiences have been, because the Five of Cups speaks to, again, past or previous choices. And having some regret about that. Perhaps even feeling, you know, I shouldn't even done that, because there he is undressing a nun, and we all know that he shouldn't be doing that, but he was Casanova. To me, sometimes this card can present this Five of Cups as someone feeling that someone has been too pure to touch, or maybe that they may soil the individual in some way. But I have these coins on the other side of this Two of Wands. Here we have the Six of Coins. This card is called Coveting That Which Is Not Yours. So it kind of speaks to the idea that maybe even if this person has put a block up on something, we can see that, you know, they're thinking about it, and maybe their thoughts are kind of muddled right now, or maybe they know exactly what they're thinking, but yet there's still some kind of attraction or desire there. Okay, coveting that which is not yours. Now, I do have the three court cards, so this could really be about three people in a situation. The reason why I say that is this. As you can see, there's Casanova and that chick, but there's her husband lying in bed there. Okay? And this card is about the way, it's called the way out or the liberation. So I think perhaps for some of you, this could be, maybe you are trying to make a decision about whether you should stay in a relationship or not, if you should leave. Some of you may indeed be engaging in an affair, if not an affair, then a secret kind of relationship. And either you have put forth an offer to someone, or someone has perhaps put forth an offer to you. This card is known as the sincere offer. As you can see, these two kings here have masks on. And to me, the masks speak to, you know, not showing your true self, maybe not communicating truthfully about what you think. But this King of Coins represents power and charisma, material wealth and security. So this could also be a situation in which maybe someone is not being forthcoming in terms of how they feel or how they think the relationship should go, because there are some financial difficulties and some financial issues going on. Again, we have this Hierophant here. Okay, and if we're talking about business and institutions, banking, corporations, things of that nature. But at the same time, if you choose to go into partnership in terms of a marriage with someone, well, we want to make sure that our finances are at least in stable condition. We don't want them to be all raggedy, because that ends up creating more problems as well. It's almost as if this the what I keep picking up is that this King of Coins here is looking at this Five of Cups. And in a way, it kind of speaks to perhaps maybe the person hiding something about their finances or their business. There could be some kind of dealing going on behind the scene. But they have very much in mind something that they've done before that didn't quite work out. Perhaps it has to do with financing, or perhaps maybe in the marriage. Maybe they got, the shaft in the marriage or something, if they got divorced, or if it was just a partnership. What stands out to me the most, and this is is that there's the Tower here. And Uranus is those sudden changes, those unexpected things that come up. Sometimes the Tower can present itself as a serious, serious situation that you did not foresee happening. But it always represents something not being on solid ground to begin with. Now, sometimes the Tower can simply just be something like you're out running errands around and your car, for whatever reason, just stops running. It could be something that simple. It doesn't always have to be something catastrophic or destructive. Either way, whether it is something huge and majorly big that forces you to change the direction in which you were going in, or whether it's something very, very mundane like your car breaking down, it still says that there was something wrong to begin with. In other words, you may have been driving your car and been having trouble with it and going, I'm going to get it to the mechanic. I'm going to go ahead. But you've been putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. And then finally, one day the car just says to hell with it and just stops working on you. Well, that's because it wasn't built solidly on that foundation. You didn't do what it is that you needed to do. Sometimes the Tower energy can be a complete epiphany. Suddenly, something that did not make any sense, that you didn't want to have anything to do with, or you didn't understand where it was coming from, suddenly it all becomes very, very clear. And in one respect, I'm kind of picking this up from the way the king is looking at this Five of Cups, but also the fact that this king is behind the Hierophant there. So it kind of speaks to the same thing. Now, behind here, I have this Page of Cups. And I don't know if you can see that, but the same building behind the king is also the same building behind the page. That building looks pretty impressive to me. It looks like something official. So this could literally be, in one respect, if you've been waiting for someone to come back and give you an answer about something, it could be that they are waiting for some type of official document or news. We look at the pages as bringing news and messages here. And I don't think it's a coincidence that these two, the same building shows up in these two cards. So it could be that someone either is waiting for, they're waiting for some kind of way out. I really don't know what this means. Some of you could be waiting to find out if there's someone you're involved with who's married or already in a previous relationship, waiting to see if they're going to step forward and say, yeah, I'm finally going to do it, and you and I are going to get together. It could be something simple as that. Now, I do have this idea of threes here. I have the Three of Wands and the three people in the card. And if I read it this way, for some of you, and that's just the way, you know, it is sometimes. For some of you, this will not, I don't think, if you don't, I'm not going to say that it's not going to happen, but it could be that there's a delay on the news that you get. Maybe you don't hear anything. And now you got to go back over and look at the situation. You got to weigh it up and see what the hell, what do you really want for yourself? You see, the Hierophant card represents Venus. Now, in mythology, Venus was, I think she was the wife of, was it Mars? And she had an affair with Vulcan. Or maybe she was married to Vulcan and had an affair with Mars. Either way, Venus was someone who was very, in the mythology, was very, very wrapped up in herself. It is about self-love, but at the same time, what do you sell yourself for? What values do you hold? How do you go about getting that self-love, but still be able to go out and be above board with everybody else? To me, this speaks of trying to figure out some kind of clear communication in moving forward. You know, the last reading I did, we had the Three of Wands, and I kept saying it's something to do with cooperation here. Because if I look at it this way, the King of Swords with the Six of Coins, and then this page, this sincere offer coming, some of you may eventually hear the message that you've been wanting to hear. Now, the Strength card has come out, and what's interesting to me about the Strength card, this card says a lot to me. The meaning, the story behind the card is that the woman that Casanova is so passionately trying to overtake used to dress herself as a man because she was an opera singer. And back in the day, only men were allowed to sing opera. They played the female roles. Those are the guys who had the falsettos and whatnot. So she disguised herself in order to do what it is she was born to do. She took on a different identity to do what it is that she wanted to do. Okay. But then Casanova discovered her secret. He discovered that she wasn't a man, that she really was a woman underneath, and fell madly in love with her. He almost married her. What else is interesting is that Casanova is wearing a mask in this. So she herself has revealed herself, has shown who she truly is, but Casanova has not. Okay? He's given her just a taste. He hasn't, you see, he goes from here suddenly to the overall energy being here. So what I'm picking up is that I think with the Mercury retrograde coming, that you need to take this opportunity, and it's going to be coming in full. The actual retrograde starts December 19th and will go all the way through to January 27th. But we have the shadow phase before it goes, and then we have the shadow phase after. And I think that it would, anybody who's having a relationship issue, no matter what that issue is, I think that the time during this Mercury retrograde, you may be getting messages, but there's going to be a stop-start quality to this. There may be some miscommunications. All the regular Mercury retrograde rules apply. And so this would be a time for you to really get clear about who you really are and what it is that you want. And recognize that the person that you may be dealing with may not be coming to you with the truth. And that's going to be the trouble. Because what do you do? Here we see that there's something sincere in what they're saying. But they may not be, not necessarily that they're going to be lying to you or deceiving you, but you may not have all of the information. Let's put it that way. Back to the 2 in the center. But I would rather see that to be a 2 of Wands because it kind of means that you have enough information to make your decision. It's not that Two of Swords in the regular deck, but then the Two of Swords in this deck speaks to getting to the truth of oneself, being open enough to be honest with oneself. And I would agree that whether this is same-sex or heterosexual, one person has already shown exactly who they are. Take it or leave it. The other person has not. Now, let's go to the Sibilas. These two cards, if this is the same aspect of the same person, what this tells me is that they haven't gotten on the page. Their thoughts haven't come into being where they're willing to do anything yet. Okay? They are both cloaked and masked. What is most curious to me is this Page of Cups, because everything else kind of makes sense. Maybe. So, just kind of wanted to see what that, wow. I'm going to show you what's underneath that Strength card there. Well, so the Strength card represents Leo. It represents the Sun. In some respect, I also feel that it represents back in, was it June or July, we went through the Destiny's Gate. That happened in the sign of Leo. That was the center galactic and the vortex opening up, your point of destiny. That's what the vortex is known as in astrology. For some of you, this could indeed be, if it's not a romantic relationship, it could be a business partnership, in the sense that this is the one that could really do it for you, take you to that next level in many ways. I do see that the coins override everything else. The Strength card also can speak to taking a risk. You see, he risked, and that could be why he still has that mask on. He risked sneaking into her room. This is how he discovered that she was really a female and not a male. And once he discovered that she was a female, well, it was game on. But you have to remember, Venus is also about temptation. And Venus was very manipulative. She condemned her son Cupid's wife to hell because she was jealous of her beauty. I do feel that this is a Venus transit. I do feel in one respect as well that it is about this Jupiter, Venus, I'm sorry, not Jupiter, Uranus, Venus conjunction that is going to be coming up around Christmas time. I forget what the other Uranus conjunction will be. I just wish I knew what this building behind this, what it's trying to tell me. It's trying to tell me something. It's also, it's a cathedral, so to speak. It looks like a cathedral. And cathedrals are impressive places. They are places of meditation, places of truth, places of questions, permanence, impermanence. You can contemplate all sorts of things within a cathedral, but the cathedral also, in olden days, represented a place of safety and sanctuary. That still holds true today in most places of worship, that you can seek sanctuary there in times of trouble. I don't think it is an accident as well that I have a priest here and a nun. In fact, he is standing inside of the same cathedral that I'm referring to. Also, what's interesting is that he's making the sign of the secret knowledge, but it's pointing to the Three of Wands. It is these two cards that perplex me the most, the Nine of Coins and this Page of Cups. So I'm going to pull Sibilas on those. The first, the first card I'm going to look at will be this Nine of Coins, the Way Out. The Way Out. That's what it's known as. Let me, and then we're going to move on over to the Marseille deck. Hold on one second, because I want to see what this Nine of Pentacles, it's called Betrayal, the Way Out, Theft, Liberation, to abstain from something for material well-being, seeking for the best of both worlds, kind of wanting to have your cake and eating it too. And again, this kind of speaks to perhaps why this Two of Wands has shown up in the center. Let's look at the Nine of Coins. Remember, I was just talking about messages. If this is not a trip or a visit to see someone, then it is about a, well, yeah, it's a trip or vacation of some sort. Something that someone thinks is, in one respect, was very successful, or they dream of the success associated with this. Remember, we're coveting something that is not ours. News from far away. Now, this card, the Messaggere, doesn't tell us if this news is good or bad. And remember, I'm looking at, of course it could go either way. I'm reading for so many of you. Not everybody's going to get the answer that they most desire. So, news. Now, I would, again, caution. I think this is why the Strength card has come out. To your as this particular cycle comes through, you're being asked to remain strong, to stay true to your principles and your values, to be logical and rational, to stay grounded as you go through this period. That's what the Pentacles is all about. It's earth energy. Be grounded. What is the Page of Cups trying to tell us? The Gran Signore. The Vecchia Signora. She speaks to changes. Remember, I'm talking to you about the Uranus energy. And the Mercante. Now, that's a very, very ambiguous card for the way that it fell out. Because, in a sense, the Mercante is kind of like the Three of Wands card. Even in the regular Rider-Waite deck. I'm moving forward. But what the cards don't tell us, because he makes contracts and negotiations. He's a business guy. Okay? And the business guy don't get in it unless there's something in it for him. Yes? So I think that's a very, very ambiguous card here. Very ambiguous. Now, remember I said wait till I show you what was underneath this card, and we still don't know what's underneath the Two of Wands. There's the Queen of Cups. Now, this card speaks to, I want you to take a real good look at it. I'm sorry if all of you is offended by sexual images, but hey, we're adults here. Covering that which should be revealed, revealing that which should be covered. So as you can see, she's completely naked, or somewhat, but her face is covered. Let me say that again. Revealing that which should be covered. Covering that which should be revealed. Now, I don't know what that means for y'all out there. Let's take a look at what the underneath the Two of Wands. Oh my God. These cards are so funny. You know what's underneath the deck? Underneath that? That Two of Swords that I was just talking about. Well, what do you know? Let me tell you what that Two of Swords is all about. That Two of Swords speaks to equilibrium, adjustment, harmony, courage, and the discovery of self. Well, I don't know what to say. Now, please keep in mind this is a general reading and the messages will not resonate with everyone. If you want to know about your specific situation, that requires a personal reading. And the way that works is I take your information, your personal information, and that of the other person that you choose to include in the reading, meditate on that, and then we lay the spread, and then the cards will kind of guide us through it. I do read 6 days a week. My turnaround time is between 48 to 72 hours. That is quite interesting. Now, discovery of self. Remember, I was telling you that it goes back to someone has already shown their true self. Someone else has not. But then that Queen of Cups underneath the deck also hints at something still being hidden, something still being revealed. There's one more thing left. But at the same time, the Hierophant and the Venus energy comes to say, to speak about remaining true to your values and your principles. Okay? Remain true to those. The discovery of the self. What will you and what will you not sell your soul for? And the thing is that no matter which way you choose, you have to be willing to accept whatever the rewards or the consequences are. Like that person that emailed me with that crazy, no-nonsense message about the guy did her wrong. I was texting with him and I thought he was interested in me also, but he did me wrong. No, you did yourself wrong. Why? First of all, you gave him your phone number. Second of all, if he wasn't willing to meet with you within 4 days to a week of texting with you, he was never going to meet with you. Period. He didn't have any interest in you. And please don't be filling out my reading forms with senseless information like that. Come over to Tumblr and post that. You have to be responsible for the choices that you made. He didn't do anything you didn't allow him to do. You know who I'm talking about from El Paso, Texas. And then you didn't even have enough balls to come back when I asked you if you wanted to book a reading. You didn't even have enough balls to come back and say to me, no, I just wanted to get that off my chest. Knowing, I don't know if you knew it, but I've been having issues with the website. That really pissed me off because I ended up having to get on the phone with the company to try to figure out whether or not it was my website or not. It was no nonsense. It was a nothing thing. You did what you did. He did what he did. That's the consequence of it. Accept it. Believe me, we have all made stupid mistakes in our lives. You know? Let's see what's happening with work for some of us. Hopefully these Marseilles will tell us. Alrighty then. And this is what I'm curious to see. I got a lot on my plate. Ace of Cups. 10 of Pentacles. 6 of Pentacles. Now that's 2 6 of Pentacles. Wow. 9 of Cups underneath the Ace. 10 of Swords. That's what I was going to say when I was reading that. That whole strength card, that whole Casanova felt like the Hanged Man. And we know that Neptune has just gone direct. And because it's such a big outer planet, it takes a while for it to get up to full speed. Again, a King of Pentacles. The Seven of Swords and the Four of Swords. Again, news coming in. Now, these cards have different meanings than the Rider-Waite deck. Each deck has its own language. I think that for some of you in the business sense, you perhaps are being presented with an opportunity to do something that maybe you really wanted to do. It is most definitely because it's an Ace of Cups. It's something that has an emotional quality to it, something that feels good. It's an opportunity to, maybe this is you've been approached by in terms of helping someone in a philanthropic way, or donating your time, your skills, your knowledge, your energy, what have you, into something new. Aces always represent something new. Now I have one major arcana again here. The Ten of Coins represents having enough to go around, those things that you can share. It is financial security and stability. When you have that kind of financial stability and security, you're able to do things that other people aren't able to do. And you may have enough where you can go and donate finances or donate time. Coins are not always about the actual money part of it. It is about the doing of. So don't assume that simply because maybe, even if you don't have that kind of financial security that you want or that you need, that you don't have something to contribute. Because sometimes people may be struggling with something in one area, and you walk in the door, you can see what the problem is, and you have a solution for it. Okay. And sometimes that's worth more money, worth more than money. The Six of Coins. Now, I think in one respect, this could be a situation where maybe even for some of you, whatever this new offer or new thing that's coming in, you may feel as though you're losing something from it. It goes from a 10 to a 6. Okay, like there's some type of loss. Maybe this is taking a loss in pay, a cut in pay for some of you. But yet, look at the balance of that. There's still stability there. That's what the 2 4s speak to, you see. Remain grounded and figure out how to get it done. And then I have this 9. Now, there are no repeater numbers here. Right in the center, I have the 10 of Swords. And in this deck, the 10 of Swords speaks to exhaustion. A clash or a battle leaves all sides exhausted. Okay? So people take a time out. Again, this is what the Hanged Man says. So some of you may have been, this could even be within your own close group or circle. Maybe people have been at odds with the way a project should go or has been going, where it should go, move forward. And there's been kind of like a standstill. That will continue, I think, in one respect for a little while. We have the Hanged Man here. And the Hanged Man always says to view things from a different perspective. Really, this line, and this is the past, the present, the future, the past, the present, the future, and then the interplay of the cards. And this really tells me that for many of you, you really have something that you have been hoping for has finally presented itself here, because we have us sitting like this King of Pentacles here. So I would say in one respect, something that happened not too far in the past. It could also be the return of something, maybe a past project that you had to put aside for whatever reason, that now you're going to be given the opportunity to pick it back up again and to move forward with it. Again, there is a slight warning that with these swords cards here, that there will be some delays on this moving forward. So I always tell people when Mercury retrograde shows up, this is any word that you could put the re in front of. This is the time to do it. Rework, review, revise, reassess, re-edit, whatever it is you need to read to it, do it. It's really not the time to move forward. As we can see, we do have this Hanged Man energy here. And this is being in a state of suspended animation, kind of not knowing which way you want to go or how you want to go. We can see that this is your outcome. This is what you're looking for. And this is not just financial security, but this is really just being in a stable place. If we want to look at it like that, from just a general standpoint. And we can see here the Seven of Swords in this deck speaks to a struggle. So this is still perhaps some issues with communications, some issues with trying to perhaps get everyone, because I do have two tens here. I just saw that. I have two tens here. And two tens mean that it's an end of a cycle, that it is a new start that's coming. It's like, I think this is something that's come back around for some of you in the work sphere. Maybe a creative project. Sometimes that's what this Ace of Cups can stand for, some type of creative thing. So we're passing through this. In a sense, there's a hold on it. And because there's a hold on it, we're still struggling in some way, shape, or form to try to figure out which direction that we need to go in. And indeed, for some of us, we're feeling very, very restricted. But the swords, again, speak to ideas, beliefs, conceptions, thoughts, the actual communication of things. We are evenly balanced between, again, coins and swords here. And while you're feeling this restriction, while you're feeling as if you're not moving forward, again, this is a perception. See, the Hangman speaks to perhaps being a little bit disillusioned, or perhaps having some fantasies or ideas surrounding whatever it is. I'm not sure if that's what I should be doing. I'm not sure if this is the right path for me to go on. You know, am I digging myself in a hole? You know, how is this going to play out? So there's kind of a hold on that right now. But again, with this Knight of Wands, it speaks to me indeed of eventually some news coming in where you can move forward. As you can see, his horse and his body are faced towards the past, looking into the spread. But his face and the wand are faced towards the future. So kind of like that strength card where it fell, and this fell where the Hierophant was. Yes. So and this really, to me, speaks to holding true to your values and your principles. And sometimes I tell people, you know, no one can come in and tell you what your dream is. And even if nobody else believes in what you dream or what it is, your vision that you have, even if it may seem a little wacky to other people, and even if you yourself don't know how things are going to fall in place for you to achieve that dream, you know, don't give up on it. Sometimes our way is not clear, and sometimes we have to stay in one place and maintain our faith and belief, that eventually we will be shown the way forward, because we're not meant to know sometimes our we're never in a sense meant to know our destination. It's really about the journey of getting there. I want to give you the interpretation of the two tens, and then I'm going to give you the definition of this King of Pentacles and this Knight of Wands here. So two tens, we're just going to look at this from a business standpoint, even though this could roughly apply as well to, let's say, a romantic relationship. But I said that this was going to be strictly about work. So this two tens, tells of a career change for the better. See how that works? Okay, and so sometimes what others think our career should be and how we should be successful doesn't really jibe with our principles and our values. That's what I mean about the dream. Okay, your own success is what you define for yourself. It's really not for anybody else to tell you if you're successful or not. Okay, they need to be thinking about their own damn success. Now, let me take a look and tell you what this King of Pentacles, and because again we have two court cards, and sometimes I see the Knight of Wands as a person. So this could be the reason why things have been held up for you on this particular work project or this whatever this thing is because we're waiting for the return of that person who can actually help us move it forward. But this could also just be a situation. It could simply be that now is not the time. So in other words, try to sit and get all your little ducks in a row. Okay. And indeed, a lot of you are real tired of waiting. This Ten of Swords here. So let me give you the interpretation of I want to look at the Six of Pentacles too. And the Six of Pentacles is expansion. It's having optimism and a positive outlook. A good balance between stability and flexibility. Advancement of projects without encountering a real challenge. So it's like you're doing what you're doing. You know that you can do better. You want to do better. There's more. There's something you can tweak. There's something, you know that this is what you want to do. This is the 9 right here. It does speak to some type of group involvement here, the 9 and the 10s. It says expansion of in different directions without losing focus. It speaks to success. And I think that this is why we have this King of Pentacles here. I mean, who ain't successful when you're the King of Pentacles, right? And again, it's not always about money. The King of Pentacles speaks to confidence and security, a cautious but optimistic vision, looking for new achievements while holding existing assets secure. There it is. Your existing assets have already come in. Maybe you don't know what those are yet. Maybe you haven't identified them. And you're struggling with that right now. And feel restricted because you can't quite figure out what it is, which direction you're supposed to be going in. Now, the Knight of Wands in this deck, it says a change of direction, following one's urges and passion, a temporary stop, Hangman, 4 swords, but there is still energy and a desire to advance. So there's something that I was picking up about the Tower in this. And I can't, I've lost that now that I was going to tell you. So let's pull. Oh, well, that just flew out of the deck, didn't it? Abundance. Well, now, and that holds true for both of those cards. And apparently that's what was supposed to come out for both of those spreads, abundance. Well, that's what I have for you. I hope that message helped. I'll be back in a few days to do, some more open readings. So until next time, namaste.